The most reliable, hottest new way to use your favorite cheat device, such as this Cronus Zen, is finally out, and today we are going to actually try it. We're going to hook it up and I'm going to show you that it works and how it works. All coming up. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. As you heard in the beginning clip, we are talking about cheat devices, specifically Cronus Zen, because that's what I have. If we back up to the beginning of the PlayStation 5 life cycle, we were able to just plug this device directly into our PlayStation 5 and it just worked. It worked on PlayStation 4 games and it worked on PlayStation 5 games. But about a year ago, Sony released information to developers about how they can detect this device and systematically patch it out of pretty much all of the games. There's actually a master list you can look at, and pretty much any game that you want to play on the PlayStation 5 has had the Cronus Zen patched out and blocked. Now, before we start going and calling me a cheater and enabling cheating, keep in mind, this device exists. It works on Xbox, it works on your Switch, it works on your PC. The only console it does not work on is the PlayStation 5. So when you're playing games that have crossplay enabled, such as the latest Call of Duty, you are at a potential disadvantage because anyone else on an Xbox could be running a Cronus Zen and you have no choice if you have a PlayStation 5. So this does give you the ability to even the playing field. Plus, as somebody who has been what's considered shadow banned a few times now for suspected cheating, which I still maintain that I do not use this device. You can ask me anytime you want. When I'm streaming, I will show you my setup because I don't even know how to use this thing. I know how to hook it up, I know how to turn it on, and I'll come clean here. For this video, I wanted to show that scripts are working. I don't even know how they work. So I actually had to look up a different YouTube video how to put scripts on here and to use them because I have no idea how to use scripts on this thing. So believe me if you want, don't believe me if you want. But after Sony patched this out of your PlayStation 5, there was only two workarounds. That was to use the B-Loader, which we've reviewed on this channel before, or the more recently released B-Loader Pro. Now, both of these devices use the remote play functionality of your PlayStation to allow you to connect your Zen through that remote play connection. So it works, but there was some latency introduced, and if your Wi-Fi wasn't strong enough or your PlayStation wasn't hardwired, you would experience some glitching, for lack of a better term. So the fine folks over at B-Loader created this. Now this is what's known as the B Savior. Now we've done an unboxing on this controller already. We've done a review of the basic functions of this controller as the controller itself. So this has your standard back buttons. It has an OLED screen here, which allows you to control button mapping. It allows you to actually remap all of your buttons. And we review all that in a different video. But what we did not review is this. Right here, there is an additional USB-C port on the B Savior controller. What that port does is it gives you a completely unlocked interface from your PlayStation to the controller, which allows you to plug a device such as this, a Cronus Zen, into this controller and use the full functionality on all games. So I'm talking about every single PlayStation 5 game. I'm talking about any PlayStation 4 games. I'm talking about if you're running PS Plus and you're running the premium membership, so you've got all the backwards compatible games, you could run this setup on all of those games and use your Cronus Zen to enable whatever you would like. If that's cheating, it's cheating. Now, I do have some people on this channel who have openly admitted that they use a Cronus Zen and they use it for cheating. I also have other people on this channel that rely on devices such as the Cronus Zen to allow them to even play video games in the first place. They suffer from different conditions, which means that they can't use a standard controller the same way that you or I might be able to use it. So this device becomes very crucial for them to be able to enjoy the same games that we enjoy. So I'm not making this video to show cheaters how to cheat. Cheaters are gonna cheat and they're gonna find their way to cheat. This video is not gonna help them any more than any other video. But for those of you that are curious, I'm going to show you how these devices connect. We're going to get it hooked up to the PlayStation 5 back here, and we're gonna walk you through its paces. I'll show you how it works. I'll get some scripts running, and we're gonna do all that in a second as soon as we switch over to the other desk here. Now, the first thing that I like to do to make sure that this is working is take my Cronus Zen and hook it all up the way that you would normally. Now, I'm gonna use a PlayStation 4 controller for my license. So I'm gonna plug that micro USB in. I'm gonna plug this in the side right here, like that. Now I have a micro USB to USB-C connector. You might not have a cord like this, but it's okay because the B-Savior comes with a USB-C to USB-A adapter. So you can plug this directly into there how you normally would. But for me, I'm gonna plug this in here, like that. And then I'm gonna plug this in here like that. Now we're gonna use an Xbox controller. So I'm gonna plug this into the front like that. And I'm gonna plug the Xbox controller in just like that. Now, what you'll notice is I can control the system with my Xbox controller. That's normal. But what happens here is when I go to play a game that has been blocked and I open, so in this case, I'm gonna open up the latest Call of Duty and I go to open it, normally on these cutscenes, I can push buttons to skip ahead through the cutscene, but it's not letting me do that right now because this controller has been blocked. So it'll go all the way to the main menu and then it'll just say press X to play, and no matter what button I push, it will not accept my input on here. So we can use this as the demo to say, okay, this is sort of working, but not really. Now I can pull up the menu again and I can go here and close the game. So I know that my setup here is good. Now all I'm gonna do is unplug this, just like that. And then I'm going to take my B-Savior controller. I'm going to plug the USB port into the regular port that is on here. So there's two ports. There's the main PlayStation 5 controller port and there's the B-Savior port. We're plugged into the regular PlayStation 5 port. And then we're gonna go up here and plug that in. Now you'll see that it's charging and it's ready to go. All I'm gonna do is push the PS button and you will see right there it says controller connected. I am using the USB connection right now. That's what the symbol looks like. And then all I gotta do is plug this USB-C cord into the B-Savior like that. My controller will buzz, and now I am using my Xbox controller, as you can see here, to control the main menu. And this is connecting through a cable to my Zen, which connects to my B-Savior, and the B-Savior connects through to the PlayStation 5. Now I know you got a lot of questions already about wireless connectivity and all that. We will talk about that at the end, but let's just get this working and show you that it's working. So the next thing we gotta do is go to the latest Call of Duty, which we saw was blocked. I'm gonna hit here now, it says press X to play. Now I was able to press X and there we go, we're in. So it's loading up, new vehicles, blah, 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 and here we go. Now, we'll go to Modern Warfare 2. I'll open it up. I'm gonna go to a custom or a private match. Before I go in here, I'm gonna actually connect a second PlayStation controller. So I'm gonna do it like this, and I'm gonna open up another account. Now this just allows me to get into split screen mode. So I'm gonna press X. That's gonna join me into split screen. It's gonna ask me to pay money for PS Plus, and I'm gonna say go offline because I don't wanna pay for 2 PS Plus memberships. So now I have 2 controllers connected. I have the Xbox and I have this. That's just for a second player, and that's just so we can get 2 views. So we're gonna go to local multiplayer. So now it's me versus me, Gears and Tech versus Gears and Tech. We're gonna play, I guess we're playing team deathmatch. It doesn't really matter. So now it's gonna load into the match. Now keep in mind, this is using the Cronus Zen through the B-Savior to unlock this game. So now on here, you can see I can pull up the menu with my Xbox controller and I can cycle through the different things. So we got AR delay, primary, boost, secondary, AR delay, I don't know what, primary and secondary. So I guess primary. So we can turn up recoil. Like I said, I've never used this, so I don't know what this does. So I guess the higher that number is, the better my anti-recoil will be. So there, that's with my anti-recoil at 890. So if I turn it down to basically off, let's see what the recoil is then. So it's at 0 now, so I'm gonna move over a little bit, and I'm gonna just, all I did was just ADS and then pull the trigger. Now, let me crank this up to 5,000 and see what happens. Hopefully you can see that there. I don't wanna run out of ammo trying to test this thing. Okay, we'll do it at 3,000. Master aim, quick scope, strafe shot, aim assist. So I got lots of settings on here. I don't know if these work. Tracking speed, tracking size, fire step, ADS step. There's a lot of options in here. I've never used this for cheats, okay? I have no idea how this thing works. Just trying to figure this out as I go, but you can see I've got full control. Now let's see if, I don't know. This is, I'm at regular fire. I don't know what that means. Here you can see, at least I'm using an Xbox controller with a Cronus Zen on a PlayStation 5 game that blocks Cronus Zen, okay? Now the first question you're gonna ask yourself is, can we use the B Savior wirelessly? So the answer is kind of no at this point. You saw that we confirmed that we were on a wired connection. We had to change the protocol to say wired connection. I actually just went in and switched it. So now if I look at it and I go to accessories and I go to controller settings, you'll see it says use Bluetooth. Even though it says use Bluetooth, as soon as I unplug this USB cord, I lose my connection to the B Savior. That's because somehow the B Savior is using at least the power through the PlayStation 5 to do whatever it needs to do. Even though the communication protocol is over Bluetooth, it still must be plugged in. So this part needs to be plugged in. The next question you're gonna ask yourself is, can I connect the Cronus Zen wirelessly to my Xbox controller or to a different PlayStation controller? The answer there is yes. Anything that you've been able to do with a Cronus Zen, you can still do. So if you've got set up for wireless connectivity to your Cronus Zen, you still can have wireless connectivity. The next thing you're gonna ask is, well, what about like keyboard and mouse? Yes, you can plug in a keyboard and mouse into the front two ports and use keyboard and mouse with all of your scripts. So all of your scripts will still work. The controller that you want to use will still work. If you want to use like a Switch controller, that will work as well, and you can connect through Bluetooth exactly the same way. If you want to use a PlayStation 4 controller, you can use that. You can use any controller you want as long as it uses the Bluetooth protocol to communicate from the Zen to the controller. So you could potentially switch this to be wireless. Now I'm not connected wirelessly right now, but all of this here can stay with your PlayStation 5. If that's up in a TV cabinet somewhere, fine, leave all of that in your TV cabinet. You can go over here with your wireless controller and play wirelessly. The next thing you're gonna ask is, can I plug some headphones into the port of the controller that I'm using through the Cronus Zen? The answer is straight up no. It just is not supported. Now, personally, I use Astro A50s. They are a USB connection from the PlayStation 5 to the headphones, so it doesn't matter to me. But if you're using headphones that plug into the controller port on your controller, you would not be able to do this setup. However, I can confirm that you can plug your headphones into the B Savior controller and get your full audio sound from the B Savior to your headphones. So that would mean then that you'd have to have the B Savior somewhere close to you or a long headphone cord, but the mic works with this as well. Let me just prove that. So if I go here to microphone and I go to adjust mic level, when I go like this, there you can see that my mic, this mic, I'll tap it so you can see. So this mic is being picked up through the controller. So you can use all that, and I don't know if this button works. No, it does not. But you can get headphones. It's kind of a weird kind of MacGyver type way to do it, but it does work that way. Now, I had the best success using a PlayStation 4 controller plugged into the side port on the Cronus Zen. I do have a Hori controller, and that's kind of hit and miss. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I don't know what's magical about the PlayStation 4 controller. I was under the impression you couldn't use a PlayStation 4 controller normally, but for whatever reason, the B Savior is able to work with the PlayStation 4 controller. So you don't need to buy the PS5 dongle. You don't need to buy a new Hori controller. You can set it up exactly like this and it will function perfectly fine. So that's all we wanted to show you today for connecting your Zen to your Be Savior to your PlayStation 5. This completely unlocks the PlayStation 5. This is a pretty unpatchable way to connect. Now, since this still is a PlayStation 5 controller, Sony could try to push some sort of an update to the controller to try and block it. However, the way that the Be Savior connects to the PlayStation 5 controller, they have no way of knowing if you are actually pushing the button on this controller or if you're pushing a button over here and Be Savior is simulating the button push on the controller, because that's what's happening. So it is highly unlikely to be patched. So this is the best way to get lag-free connection with any device. The final question I guess you're gonna ask is, what if I just wanna use my Xbox controller on the PlayStation 5? Do I need all of this? The answer is no. We covered it in a different video. The Be Savior controller has wireless Bluetooth connectivity. You can connect your Xbox controller wirelessly directly to the Be Savior and bypass the Zen. So the only reason you would need the Zen is if you're straight up cheating, or if you have special controller requirements that you need to be able to run scripts and mods for you to be able to game. So those are the two scenarios where you would need that Zen versus just connecting wirelessly directly to the Be Savior. Now that you've seen how it works, tell me what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear, are you happy about what's happening here? Are you excited about the kind of features that the Be Savior unlocks for pretty much everybody? Let's talk about it in the comments. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video. We'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.